Hello everyone. This is very soft, this music. Just put it up just a little bit. Okay. So, in today's stream, right? Put everything right here. I want to start working on a new game, or well, rather more like an engine actually. So I've had this idea for a while, right? Where I want to make a voxel based engine where I want to be able to cram in as many, and I mean as many voxels as possible, and be able to create some cool games out of that. So that is what we will be trying today. Or well, at least we will be starting off with probably creating something like a flat piece of terrain. You know, like a 16 by 16 by 4 chunk of just voxels and trying to render that. We will also be playing a game made by Legendize that I just got on Discord. So yeah, that is going to be a lot of fun as well. I'll probably wait until Legendize is in chat. And then we will also start with that. Right. So you can see that I made a new project here. It's brand new. I call it Cuboid or Cuboid Engine. And this is very specifically a library, a C# library. So we will need another project, like an actual client, let's say, project. Let's see, to actually use it. So go to console and then this one. We will call this just Cuboid. Oh. Cuboid game. Yeah, I'm very good at spelling, boys. Yeah, here. And then in dependencies, I can add a dependency, add project reference to Cuboid Engine. And then I should be able to use that in here. Let's go this way. Let's see. Test it probably. Yeah, let's test it. Public static void hello world. And then of course console.writeLine write line. Thank you. Hello world. And let's see if we can actually call that in our program. So instead of this, we can write. Oh wait, what is the namespace of this? Cuboid Engine. Okay. Cuboid Engine. .class1 .hello world. Okay, let's see if this works. Hard no. A project with an output type of class library cannot be started directly. Oh, that is just because I have my starter project wrong. That's not what I want. Can I change my startup project? Oh, probably in here, right? Yeah, good game. There we go, let's try that again. Hello world. Perfect. Hello Demir. Welcome, welcome. Oh, this is going to be such a fun stream. I've been looking forward to making this engine for so long, but I've just been putting it off because it's so much work. It's going to be so much work, boys. Yeah, I already said in the Discord, right? We will probably be streaming now almost semi-daily, like almost every day. How's my day been? Well, my day has been quite nice. Of course, I'm still working on my master's thesis, so that's basically what I've been doing most of the day. And now I get a program for fun. Oh, would you look at that? Ooh, very much variety in my life. You're going to use OpenGL for this? Yes, I will. Because of course I could have used C++, and probably that would have been a lot faster. Well, actually I say that, it's probably not even that much faster, but it would have been probably more suitable for an engine such as this. But I want to keep it, you know, relatively simple and to the point of this YouTube channel, and that is OpenGL C#. So that is what we are doing. Also, now that you are here, let's actually go and play your game. Legendized. Okay, let's see. I had this right here. Yeah, so you made a Unity game. pretty cool. Let's start it up here. We will resume our programming session in just a little bit. Here we are. It's a little bit loud, so I'm going to turn down the sound here just a little bit. Hello, Jasmine. We are playing... Oh, I clicked on your YouTube button. You know what? What the heck? I'm subscribed. Here you go. Here. I'm everybody, check out Legendized YouTube channel. I'm subscribed, that's for sure. There you go. Yeah, I just have to turn down the music just a little bit. I'm not that worried that it's going to copyright strike me. Of course, it is YouTube, so wouldn't surprise me. Anyhow. Let's do this, So, okay. We are in the tutorial. WASD, yeah, that makes sense. Prototype. Epic. Oh, okay, that is what my buttons do. 1, 2, 3. Right. I die. No, I don't die. Oh, that's 2. Yeah, okay. Oh, that is 3. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting this. Oh, that's weird. Like the parallax effect is so weird, dude. Like as I move closer towards that platform, it moves closer to me as well. That's very, very strange. Subscriber count plus. Hell yeah, dude. And then 1, right? Yeah. I'm definitely going to fill a harder level here. Okay, so I cannot jump that, right? No, I can't. For a like proof of concept game, actually, very pog. Oh, if I'm hugging the wall and I try to jump, it doesn't work because I'm probably colliding with the wall, right? So I can't jump here. It's just observation. Let's see. 2. I'm planning to make a larger game out of this someday. Yeah, I think you definitely could. It looks very cool. It has a bit of a geometry dash kind of feeling to it with being a square. Oh, what does this do? It's black. By the way, the UI is cutting out for the live stream. Oh! Yes, of course, because I have that... oh, okay, wait, hold on. Thanks for telling me. Let's see, can I do something about that? Maybe I can do a window capture. And window capture. And then see if I can capture your parallax game. Yeah. Then I can get rid of that. And then I can make you with the screen. Yeah. Would you look at that? That is much better. It's even louder though. Okay, yeah, that is better. So what do I do with this black stuff? What color was that? I just don't dare to change the color here. Because then I'm dead. Need your help. Can I just jump on it because it's like a wild card? Just go. Oh yeah. Wait, can you even see it? Because oh, it just hello. What the hell happened? Can you guys even see it? Because in my OBS the screen is just frozen. And apparently I died. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Can you see that? We can see it. Oh, that's so weird. OBS is just giving me a frozen screen right now. Okay. Well, that's it, boys. Yeah, very cool. Very cool, I have to say. So, if you want to play it yourself. Legendize, maybe you can just... Can you just post a link in the chat? I'm not sure if you can do that. Okay, let's quit. Yeah. And then let's go back to this. It's frozen. No, so it is frozen. Well, that was like the last jump. And that was the end of it. But it was very cool. Let me see. Maybe I can just post a link here. Control Shift T, perhaps. Control Shift T. Control Shift T. Where the hell is getting everything except for your link? Okay, let's see. I'll just get it from Discord, I guess. Wait, I need to log in to chat. I can't... Okay. You know what? Fine. Fine. I'll just go over to YouTube. Apparently I'm not logged in on OBS. Let's turn that off. And here we go. Yes. There you have it. Legendized game. Alright. Now, let us actually get to programming. Buffering. Always makes me think of that that like loading sound. Like beep beep boop boop. You know what I mean? The worst explanation ever. Okay. Let's actually get to doing stuff. So in keyboard, yeah, we really do need to get OpenTK. So let's try to find that. OpenTK. The very latest version. It upgrades so often now, it's awesome. Let's install it. Why is a video named Tighten That Fabric with the thumbnail of a woman with an oversized upper chest area the first thing you recommended on YouTube? Is it? Let me check that for you. Oh, it is. Shall I show you that I am not as sus as you might think? Here. So, why can I not make it bigger? Hello? So, I have no idea what this is. Not gonna lie. But I also have some video games in here. So, and some Beethoven and Sad Monkey. He's so sad. He is so sad. Look at that. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not it, dude. I'm not the imposter. Sussy bug. I'm not a sussy bug. How dare you? Dare you accuse me of such a thing? Anyway, we have OpenTK now, I think. So let's rename this. Call this one Cuboid Engine as well. Cuboid Engine class. Change everything up. There we go. It's never instantiated. Yeah, that is right. I probably actually want this to be static. And I just want the no objects and all functions. Hell yes. Make Among Us in your voxel engine to absolve yourself, your crimes, and your sussiness. You know what? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not even going to rule that out yet. But I'm also not saying that I'm going to. We'll see about that, right? We'll see about that. Anyway. Maybe I should just keep this, like, test function in here. I mean, who cares, right? It's nice. It's nice. I also have my no number game up here. So this is of course the game that we worked on previously that I'm kind of going to abandon right now. Don't blame me. So we just kind of fixed this seam issue a couple streams ago. It's nice, right? But well, I just feel so motivated to work on this Voxel engine right now. Can't be bothered to continue on this, not for right now at least. We'll see, but we can actually just copy some boilerplate OpenGL code from this. So we will. Let's see, a whole world, a model loader, program. Yeah, so we probably want stuff like this, right? Let's see, run in our program. Yeah, of course. Init, yeah, makes sense. Let's do all of this stuff. Init. So we have this Windows sort of things. Yeah. Just copy paste that over. Public static void init. Or maybe I can make a bool to give you a true or false if it has worked or not. There we go. To be fair, I don't think that this can actually fail. Though I suppose it could. Like, what would this throw, right? If this fails, if the construction of a window fails, and it has to be able to fail because GLFW and just general OpenGL and GLEW can all fail to initialize. So surely this could fail. But what does it do when it does? You know? That's very weird to say. What does it do when it does? I'm not sure. Will it just crash? It almost feels like it. Yeah. I think it just kind of will. It doesn't even have anything here. It just says this dot. Oh, like that. Right. So actually, when we construct a game window, nothing happens yet. Right? It is just going to set some settings. And that's about it. Okay, so only on run. That is unsafe. And that will make context current. And that will load. And that will resize and make everything go, right? Yeah, so it's only the run function that will actually be able to throw errors. Is what it seems like. Yeah. Right. I believe so. So we can actually very safely create a window class here. But then we probably should just run it as well. So we should save the window somewhere. So we should do something like private static game window question mark window. And here we can say window equals the new game window. Of course, we don't have any nullables enabled, so let's enable nullables for projects or in the entire solution. Awesome. Then we can do window run. Right. And then of course we can have something like public static bool is initialized. And I can just return window doesn't equal null. So if the window has been initialized, then of course our engine has been initialized. So that's good. And probably something like public. Well, no, you know what? No. I wanted to make the window public, but I'm not going to do that. That's probably a bad idea for an engine. Also, everything is hard-coded in here, so we probably don't want to do that. So let's just say we probably want our game to start up in full screen so we can query our monitor and see what the size of it is, and then make that the size of our screen initially. And the version, we can just hardcode that in as well. That is also fine. The render and update frequencies can also be hardcoded. That is fine. And multi-threadedness can be hardcoded. That is fine. The title, though. The title obviously can't. So, string title. I'll call that title. Will the Voxel game support multiplayer? Not yet. You know, there is so much stuff to do that I'm just really not thinking about that right now. Maybe I should. But I'm more of a let's just figure it out on the fly kind of guy. Oh, I turned out the music as well. Wait, hold on. Here we go. Music back. Yeah, I'm not particularly organized and planned in that sort of way. We'll figure that out. I probably do want it though, at some point. Because that would be pretty cool. Right, so this all runs. That's good. But when we... Oh yeah, this should probably just accept some sort of game class, right? Game. Master thesis. Yeah, boy. Yeah, yeah, well, what can I say? It's a lot of work though. It is. But it's also, it's not too bad. It's not too bad as in it's not that boring or anything. It's pretty interesting, but it is a lot of work. Okay, let's see here. How's your day actually? Did you all have a nice and productive kind of day? Yeah, so the game can probably contain the title then, right? So I could probably do something like game title. And then the window is going to have all sorts of callbacks. And we can add those in our game class and then bind them here. That makes sense, right? We can also have a bunch of callbacks just in here, private, in our engine. And then from our engine, redirect those back to the game again. So then in our engine, we can actually manipulate the raw callbacks a little bit, make them more manageable, and then put them through to the game. My day's been okay. Came from school and passed out. Woke up at 6:30 in the evening and it felt so energized. Nice, dude. Yeah, afternoon naps, man. They're awesome. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. So, something that just handles the window resizing, right? We don't want our game to really have too much control over that. So, definitely we want to have that private. Private static avoid unresize. We also just want to load a couple of things in the engine. So we definitely want to catch the unload. And probably on window loads. And on window resize. We want to capture that already here. Then do some stuff. And then do something like game dot on load. Something like that, right? That makes sense to me. Here we can just do stuff, and then game doesn't need to know about resizing. Probably. Yeah. Let's make a quick little game class, just so that this doesn't give us an error all the time. A class, we can of course make it an interface as well. Do we want that? Probably, right? Okay, so virtual functions or virtual methods, stuff like that. How does it work exactly? Right? If I have a class and then I make like a child class that overrides all of the methods from the parent class, then those become like virtual functions and that becomes a big mess. If I use an interface, does the same thing happen? I don't think so, right? It shouldn't, because that would be very wasteful. I want to just make sure that I don't get all of these object-oriented nightmares in here. And I do want things to be relatively fast. Alright, so let's make an I game class, or an interface, and I'll make this I game. Right, and in here I probably want something like a public virtual void onload and a public virtual void on mouse move and something like a public virtual void on key stroke, something like that, right? Public virtual void on render, render tick, something like that, and public virtual void on what do we do here on update tick. And then we want something to have like double delta time, right? And these don't work because virtual, should they not be virtual? No, they should not be virtual. Of course not. Okay, awesome. Right, so now that we have that, right? Oh, and of course I should have something like public string title. Of course, that cannot be something like this, so... Right. What will I do here? I can actually have a field in an interface. And of course just make a get title. I mean, that works, right? That just works. So maybe I should just be happy with that. It's a little bit ugly, not gonna lie. But that's okay. Right, so I kind of wanted to check out what the size of the actual window is. Can I do that somewhere? Because I'm not sure if I can. See, that is the problem. Would it be in system or would it be in like OpenGL? Open windowing perhaps? Desktop? Yeah. No, I should probably go to common. Graphics context, oh, all of this sort of stuff. Yeah, probably not right. System.io maybe? Yeah, I should probably just look it up. To be fair. C# get monitor size. How do I get the screen dimensions? This is for WPF. System.windows, yeah, exactly, but that's a Windows only thing. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, huh? I'll make you all see it. Get screen size. System parameters. The system parameters class. System parameters that full primary screen height. Okay. Parameters. Dot. And does it give me anything? Not really. System.windows. Yeah, no, I don't want system.windows because that is not... It's a Windows only thing, right? I mean, that would kind of make sense. Yeah, presentation system.windows. Oh, presentation framework.dll. So that is something else again? This is the wrong project. I guess that's not that easy then. Is there something with OpenTK? Oh, maybe. Try display service. Oh. Oh. Sick. Or display device. Never mind. Doesn't show me anything. Where is it from exactly? Using display device. Source here. GitHub. What is it from? OpenTK. It is just OpenTK. Okay. Windowing, perhaps? Or platform, maybe? Display device? Not in desktop, that's for sure. Common? The other one. Graphics library framework. Right? No, not in here. Maybe it's in platform? Windows? No? Also not. Can't really find it. Me and the boys spending hours trying to figure out how to get the max height and width of a monitor. Yeah, that is... You'd think that this would be easy, right? Oh, utils maybe? Oh, that's just... Swap platform. Platform exception. No. Maybe native? Well, this guy does say it, right? And... What is this class? This class is just OpenTK / display device, so it should be here. Or maybe not. Doesn't make much sense. I mean, in GLFW, you definitely can get the size of the monitor. Yeah, that's cool and all. Accepted answer on Stack Overflow, but hey. Oh, screen actually does something maybe as well. Display resolution. I mean, we can try to reference that, see if that works. Display resolution, no. Display attributes. Yeah, but that's about it. General purpose attribute that lets you specify localizable strings. Yeah. Thanks. Yes, OpenTK 1.0. I think that is a problem. It's just a little bit outdated. OpenTK display resolution class. Yeah, but that is, again, it's OpenTK 1.0. That is where the issue lies. The native window class reference. Can we just get it from there? Is it just maybe just in window? Like if we go to like game window, does it have like a static point or something? No, maybe the native window. Native window settings. Yeah, exactly. Not really. Okay, you know what? We'll figure that out at a later point in time. We have better things to do. We have better things to do. Okay. Let's just start off with window loading. Window.load plus equals on window load. Window dot resize, I believe. Yeah, plus equals on window resize. Of course, there is stuff here. We need resize event arcs. Arcs. Import those. There we go. We probably want other stuff as well. Private static void on window and then mouse move. We need the mouse button down, of course. Yeah, mouse button. Now we have on window keystroke. Anything else? Yeah, on window render tick. And on window update tick. Right? That seems about fair. Where do we go? Here. Window. And then the mouse move. Yeah, plus equals on window mouse move. And then it needs to have the mouse move event arcs. Yep. Mouse move event arcs. The other one, the mouse button down. That doesn't actually have a callback. Let's look at all the events here. Refresh, text input, move, mouse wheel, text input? What does that even mean? I also don't know what refresh means. Move, mouse wheel, mouse up. Oh, that is the mouse button event arcs. Okay. Mouse leave, mouse enter, mouse down. Oh, up and down are both kind of the same thing. They both have the same event arcs. Interesting. Monitor connected. Interesting. Minimize, maximize, key up, key down, joystick, focus changed, file drop, closing, close, resize, mouse move. The other ones we have. Okay. So we have mouse up plus equals on window mouse. No, on Windows mouse button. Then we need the mouse button event arcs. Very weird that they have split them. Okay. Mouse button event arcs. Then we also need the same thing, but then for mouse down. I mean, you can totally call the same thing, right? Because here we have the action, and the action can be release, press, or repeat. So it both works. Whenever a mouse button is released. Oh, and whenever a mouse button is clicked. Do we not get an event every frame that a mouse button is actually down? Because in that case, we might need something like a Boolean array where we keep track of what mouse buttons are down at any given point. Something for later, I think. Something for later. I usually figure these things out just on the go, you know? If I ever need this, I can add it. Okay. Let's reformat real quick. Yes. Window dot key up plus equals on window keystroke. Anyways, I need to sleep. Good night. Good luck with the stream. Alright, dude. Have a great night's rest. And don't let those pesky bedbugs bite, dude. They're the worst. Keyboard key event arcs. I love those. Keyboard key event arcs. Same thing with down. We need the renders, and then we probably need to scroll as well, actually. Let's add the scroll wheel in here, actually. Window, mouse, scroll. Scroll event arcs? No, those don't exist. Crazy. Window, that's... Oh, never mind. I thought that was a scroll callback. Oh, it's the mouse wheel callback. Okay, never mind. on window mouse scroll. Let's add that. And then I need scroll or mouse wheel event arcs. Yeah, then I need mouse wheel event arcs. Big difference. Right, and then I just need the render tick and the update tick. Right. I probably need more stuff, but this will do for now. Let's see, window dots, and then something like render, right? Render frame plus equals on window render tick. Then I need a render frame event arcs, or I need frame event arcs. Arcs. Oh. And the same thing we do over here. Copy that over. Update frame, presumably. And then here as well, update tick. Very nice. And then we just run the game. Yeah. And then in our game class, we have on mouse move, but then I probably also want public void on mouse scroll. And I also need on mouse button. Public void on mouse button. Right? Now, the problem with making an engine here is that my client game will not necessarily have access to OpenTK, and I don't want them to be required to also install OpenTK. What I want my client game to be able to do is to just use whatever comes with Cuboid Engine, and that's it, right? That's it. So, how do we do that? Well, of course, we don't necessarily have to do anything, but if we actually want to do stuff with all of these key buttons or keyboard keys, then we're gonna have a bit of a problem, right? Because what we can do here is we can do game. I'm not actually saving game here anywhere. Let's wait. Private static I game question mark game. And then we can say here before we run, maybe even before window here, we can say something like, well, game equals game. Right, now the game is here, so we can actually access it. That's quite nice. Now we can do something like window keystroke on keystroke, but we probably want it to have access to whatever key is pressed, right? But this is an enum. And if we go to this enum, then let's see, go to the enum. Now we have this thing here. Yep. Yeah, that's it. It goes on. It goes on. 350 different entries. Let me have one big sip of water. Yeah, we are going to have to copy this, basically, because there just is no other way. But the problem here is, of course, if OpenTK updates or OpenGL updates, because really these are just, this is just a copy of the OpenGL macros. If OpenGL updates, then OpenTK updates, and then I have a problem, right? On the other hand, OpenGL hasn't updated these enums in ages, so and it probably just won't ever again. So we can probably just hardcode them, but it's not particularly pretty. But I guess OpenTK just hardcoded them, so might not matter that much. Right, but yeah, we kind of need to make these key classes as well. I kind of started working on like the most boring stuff you can imagine, didn't I? Just kind of, how do we get here? Okay, let's wait here. hold up. Maybe we can do something more interesting. So we have this window now. We have to unload. Right, so we can just say game. And then unload. Oh. Unload. We can just assert that this is true because our window is created and therefore the game should be there. You can of course make these guys not nullable. It's also a little bit weird. Because they can be null. So it's going to be very, very hard to access them in a null state. Yeah, it's fine like this. It's fine like this. Yeah. On one hand, it's kind of nice to just have an actual class, not a static class, and then you can just initialize the class, right? You can call the constructor, and then the constructor will do all of this stuff, and then it doesn't really matter. You know, because then everything in here is inaccessible anyway, unless you have called the constructor. However, in that case, we do have the class. Does that matter that much? Yeah, it does matter. Right, because now Cuboid Engine is accessible from anywhere. Any class in the client can access Cuboid Engine at any point in time. That's going to be extremely, extremely handy because we are going to put some very nice functions in here. So we do kind of want that. Yes. Yeah, so we will keep it like this. It's fine like this. Okay. Now in unload, in our game here, so we probably want to actually, you know, use Cuboid Engine here. And say something like, well, let's just using it. Using Cuboid Engine. Then we can say Cuboid Engine dot... Can we not? Dot init. Can we just not do this? No, that doesn't work. Okay, big problem. We'll call it Cuboid, maybe. Just Cuboid E, Cuboid Engine. This is a little bit annoying, so I guess I have to change that. Anyway, our program will extend game, right? And we can just implement all of these missing members. Yeah, just put those all in, boy. There we go. And a new program. So there we go. In the get title, we can say something like, well, this is just our test program. And of course we have unload, we have on mouse move, on mouse button, all of the good stuff. It's right here now. And indeed, these are not virtual, which is perfect, which is perfect. Okay. Let me see, so on unload, right? What do we want to do in here? We want to load our shaders. We want to load textures / models / other assets. Then we want to perhaps load a world, load on a world. Well, actually on unload, we probably want to just... Okay, wait, let's think about this, because this is of course not completely true, because when we load in a game, we probably want to just initialize maybe some OpenGL stuff and then loading screen, right? So we only need the loading screen texture, we need the loading screen shader. That can be loaded very, very fast, right? Totally fine. And then we can go to something like render tick or update tick and use that to continue loading other assets. Yeah, for now, probably doesn't matter too much. So we won't do that. Something to think about though. Okay, so load shaders, load assets. We might even want to load the world, although... Yeah, let's just do that for now. Load the world. Yeah, that's very good. And then on the render tick, we just want to render the world. But on update tick, we actually want to kind of just do nothing here. Right, there really is no logic at this point in time. Okay. We could, in update tick, construct the VBOs or the VAOs. But we have to watch out if we are actually using the OpenGL thread or not in here, because we might not be, right? So we can pre-compile a set of vertices and normals, all of that stuff, put that inside some sort of queue or buffer, whatever. And then here in the render tick, we read that out and we actually construct a VAO. That's how you would usually want to do it. But for now, we are not going to change anything. So we will just render the world in here. Yes. Okay. So we need to load in shaders first. So in Cuboid Engine, we want something like load shaders, right? So this is all private stuff. That's fine. I'm going to put that all the way down. I'll just say something like /dash callbacks. You can just go all the way down to the screen. In here, I just want basic OpenGL sort of stuff. So I want something like public static void, or not even void. Well, yeah, that's void. Then load shader program. And in here, I want something like a string. Let's think like a vertex shader file. I want a string fragments shader file. We don't really have to support anything else for now. And we can say string ID. So we can put this in a map, right? We can put the shader in some sort of map. We can even just use an int. That's actually better, because then we can just use a... Oh, we can actually just return an int, right? That will be the identifier. There we go. So we can put the shader program into some sort of list. And then the integer is just the index of the program inside of that list. And then the client, here, my program, can just use that int as an identifier for the shader. And whenever I need to use the shader, I can just tell the engine, hey, use this shader with this integer index. And then here in the engine, I can actually handle that integer. I think that is that is smart. That is smart. So I need some sort of other class here in Cuboid Engine that will just load or handle anything with shaders. So I'll make a shader manager. Public static class shader manager, and it needs to have some sort of private static list integers. Yeah, integers. Shaders are integers. Or are they uints? Uints, right? It's fine in any case. I might even make these just structs, but doesn't really matter. And then I can just call these shader programs. Of course, this should be read-only actually. And I'll call this equals new list. Oh, the other way around. Switch them. Here we go. That's just the formatting. It really doesn't matter. Of course, the order. Right, so in here, I do want something like public. This shouldn't be public actually. This should be... What is it called again? Internal. Yeah, that's true. So internal accessor means that only things inside of the same namespace, I believe, can access shader manager, which is perfect. Perfect. Because that way, program cannot actually access shader manager directly, but my Cuboid engine can. So my program is forced to communicate with our engine, and then the engine relays that to the manager. And that way we keep things organized. You do notice that I am still using static classes and static functions. Everything here is just functional programming. I really don't like object-oriented programming all that much, which is weird coming from someone programming in C#. I get that. And it is weird. But I'm happy that we have the option in C# to use static, because oftentimes you really don't need classes. Stuff like this works better, actually. Okay. Let's see, because now, like, just to illustrate that, now in our cuboid engine, we don't need to make an instance. We don't have to have an instance here that's like private static. Well, I guess this wouldn't even be static, but private static shader manager, like an instance shader manager. And then I have to initialize that in here, and then in here I have to actually call that. No, it's completely not necessary. We can just call shader manager directly, and that's just way easier. Okay, anyway, load shader program. Right? Yeah, functional programming is nice. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jasmine. Okay, let's see here. So we probably want a string vertex shader. Yeah. Nice string fragment shader. And do I want these to be the files or the sources? I think I will call these source. Load shader program source. No, that implies that I am loading the source from source. And then I want the same one, but then from file. Load shader program from file. These are very verbose, but also very clear what they actually mean. Why is this not working? Oh, because I don't have a return type. Of course, this needs to be a uint, right? I just said. Well, actually, it can just be void. Because I'm putting that in here anyway. No, I need an integer for the index. Yes, okay. I'm confusing myself. Really. Okay, and then in cuboid engine, I probably want something similar. Well, no, I'm actually asking here for the files. Right, so I am implying that I will read them. Yeah, but I do kind of like just baking this sort of stuff in. So I'll just make two functions, I guess. So here also from file or from source. And this can be source and the other one can be file, and that works out well. Oh, I did it wrong here. File and file. Perfect. Then we probably need something to load these. Well, actually C# already has this built in. That's true. That's why I like C# over C++, because C++ has all sorts of complicated stuff that you have to do just to read a file. Opening an F stream and all of that sort of stuff. You can just file that read all text, right? Read all text. There you go. One function call. Way easier. Okay, so what we can do is we can just return this one. There we go. With the vertex shader file. And then the other one with the fragment shader file. Now, of course, we can have IO exceptions here. And I do kind of want to catch those. So what we will do is we will have some sort of debug assert. So this will only trigger whenever we are in debug mode. Meaning that if we are actually running in release mode, this will just be completely removed out of the code. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Or at least I believe that is true. Checks for condition is with as false, displays a message. Yeah. Let's actually go check it. But I'm pretty sure that this is just removed. Yeah, system.diagnostics conditional debug. This is such a nice little feature of C#. Gonna have to mention it, for if you don't know yet. You can... I don't even know exactly what these square brackets they're called. But you can use these square brackets above a function to display some sort of like meta information about the code that the compiler can use to generate your code in some sort of funny, handy way. Right, and here we have the system.diagnostics.conditional debug, and that just means that the compiler will only actually use this function and compile this function and add this function whenever you are using it when we are in debug, or at least the debug is defined. So if we go in here in properties, we can see here somewhere, I think it says in build. Yes. So if we go to debug, define debug constant. So if debug is defined, which it is not in debug mode, which is very strange, I'm going to enable that. So when debug is defined here, then it will generate this code, otherwise it will not. Extremely handy. So yeah, I will be using these debug.asserts quite often. So file.exists. So here I can check, of course. This one exists. If not, then I can add some sort of message, which I will here call shader file. And then we can do this. Vertex shader file does not exist. There we go. So now, if we cannot find vertex shader file, the program will just crash here, and you'll get a message shader file with then whatever your shader file is does not exist, which should be quite clear as to what that means. Then we do the same thing for the fragment shader. There we go. Again, this code will just be completely removed in release mode, so you don't have to worry about any induced slowness. We're checking something that you already know is going to be true. This will only happen in debug mode, which we don't mind if it is a little bit slower. Right, then we can move on to the load shader. Of course, we do already have this. You do notice that compared to this other game, the plain game that we were making, no number game, we are being a lot more thorough here with debugs, .asserts, and just engines, all of that stuff here. I just put everything on a heap and I just got things done. It was a lot quicker. Certainly was. But also definitely a bit more messy, and making a big game like this is probably not a good idea, to be fair. What am I looking for? The shader code, right? Shader loader. Yeah, let's just copy this, because this is still valid code. So public static, and this can just be, what is this, an integer? Okay. Load shader string shader location, and then the shader type. Right. Why do I need shader location? What do I do with shader location? Oh, I already read it here. I don't want that. I want the string shader source. And I do kind of want the shader type, but I will use the OpenTK shader type. This one. That is totally fine. I don't have to put this above here, of course. You do have to do that in C++. Kind of annoying sometimes. In C#, the order of your methods does not matter. Heck yeah. Okay. Shader source. And then the shader ID. Yeah. So generate it, compile it, get the info log. If it is not null or empty, then accept. So what I can do here is again debug dot. Actually, just getting this info log. I don't even want to do this if I'm not in debug. So actually, I'll make a separate function for this, which I can just call private static void something like validate shader, just to make sure that it works. Or maybe check shader. I'm not sure. And then in here I can add the same thing where I go system.diagnostics.conditional and then debug, which means that this entire function will get yeeted out whenever I go into release mode. So I'm not even going to try to get the info log here. And I'm just going to continue on and not care if we have an error or not. Yeah, and then here we can just do debug.assert. Then we can assert that the string is null or empty. And if it is not, we will throw the info log. Nice and compact as well. I do have shader ID. I do actually need to put in shader ID. Int shader ID. There we go. Much better. Shader ID. Okay. And then, hi there, Debunked. Welcome to this engine programming stream. We're currently still working on the shaders. We have actually done a lot of stuff here. That was not necessarily too much OpenGL sort of stuff. But it's fine because we are working on it right now. Anyway, how is your code going actually? Because you have been working on some OpenGL stuff for quite a while now. Meantime, I can just put these shader sources in here. Yeah, fragment shader source generates the program. Then I need to get the shaders, which are now just integers. Of course, I could make these shader structs, but I don't think that I want to. Just integers are fine here. Load shader, got the shader source, got this shader source. There we go. And attach the shader, yeah. And then here detach them, yeah. And then delete them, yeah. That also makes a lot of sense. And then this also should be in a separate function. So let's make that real quick. Validate shader program. We should have a program ID. Get program info log. Yeah. And the rest is all exactly the same. I'll actually put these all the way to the bottom because these two methods, we probably don't ever need to watch them again. Yes, my code is working so far. Is it? Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Yeah. Because that was one heck of a weird bug. With the 0 just turning into 650,000 for whatever reason. Okay, we can get this out and we can make this validate shader program. And this, of course, will then also only happen whenever we are in debug mode. Shader program ID. Okay, we are using shader program ID here. I want to use shader program ID in here as well, just to make things clear. Yes, and then in our load shader from sources, that is of course just the load shader program function. And this will return an integer. Oh. Wait, why is this? Oh, it's just never used. Okay. That's why it's grayed out. Vertex shader source, fragment shader source, int program. Or I guess I called it shader program ID, fine. Then we are going to add that to our list. So add shader program ID. That doesn't work. Oh yeah, uints. Let's change these to ints. And then let's return shader programs. Dot. What do I want here? Just the last index. Does it always work? I think so, right? I think that's how lists work in C#. So dot count -1. Last index. Yeah, and that should just right about do it. From source, yeah, that's this one. Oh yeah, of course, I only call this one. So that is why this is complaining to me that it can be private. Yeah, I know, but I don't want you to be private. Wouldn't it be more efficient to create a struct that that's stored as something like shader.cs? Or is that a bad idea? Yeah, so I did that in my old code, right? I did that in here. I have these shader structs. But, you know, as long as they just have an integer ID, it doesn't hurt. I genuinely believe, of course I can't be sure, I didn't check it, but probably the compiler will just yeet out this. Will just yeet it out completely. And you'll just be stuck with an integer again, because that's just more efficient. But if you want to do it this way, just for clarity, then go right ahead, because yeah, the compiler will just yeet it out anyway, so it doesn't matter for efficiency, but it does make things a bit clearer. So I mean, I would recommend it. I don't do it here because I just don't feel like it. I'm in an integer kind of mood today, what can I say? So yeah, we just have integers for now. Of course, once you do actually have a struct here, you could add functionality within the struct, and that would be useful. But I put all of that functionality just in my shader manager, so I don't need that. Right? A load shader could be inside of your shader structs, but I just have it in here. Okay, let's see. So we have in the engine here, we can do load from file, vertex, and fragment. Return, of course. Return. Actually, can't I do this? Isn't there like a fancy C# way to just do that? Yeah, we totally can. That is nice and compact. That just saves some space in this file. If you've ever worked with some C++ libraries, then you know that some of those libraries are just thousands of lines long, just one file, and it is very painful. Vertex shader source, fragment shader source. And there we go. Nice and compact. Of course, if I go to like standard mode, like 100%, it's still a little bit too long, but it's not that bad, right? I'm obviously zoomed in a little bit for YouTube here. I hope that it is readable. If you want me to zoom in more, you should say so. Shouldn't this be called a library rather than an engine? For now, yes. What I do want to do, right? I do want to actually make a scene editor and all of that stuff eventually. For now, yes, it's just a library. But yeah, you know, engine is just such a buzzword. It's nice to use it. Like if you can make little models using voxels, right, within some sort of editor, then you can save those as a model file, and that will obviously save a lot of memory to just compress that into some sort of model file and then display that inside of your engine, just as, or inside of your game, just as a model, instead of having, I don't know, like hundreds of little voxels that you have to draw every time. I think that would be very cool to add that. Like to be able to make a tree just using voxels, just thousands of voxels, you know? And then to just click a export button to just export that as some sort of model.obj or .off file. And then to be able to display that again in a game. For that, you should use Magic Voxel probably, either that or make your own. Yeah, I'm going to make my own. Magic Voxel, I'm actually going to look that up, because I do kind of wanna look at some of the competition. How does this work, right? A free lightweight GPU-based voxel art editor with interactive path tracer. Yeah, that looks very cool. This is used. This is made using voxels. That's insane. Oh, that's like this, right? This sort of stuff is what I want to make. Absolutely. So yeah, this has such a strong Lego vibe, don't you think? To me, this has a very strong Lego vibe. Very awesome though. Yeah, look at that. That's just so cool, dude. This as well. Yeah, I want to be able to make an engine that can support this. Or, well, I say engine then, but sure, library, whatever. Where you can make models like this. And then also render those in your game. Because that's just insane. I love just the vibe and the look of this stuff. You know, just look at that. Incredible. This has this has a more Minecrafty vibe. But not quite right, because the roofs are completely slanted and diagonal. But the castle in the background, it's awesome. I love this stuff so much. But yeah, it's very, very heavy. Voxels like this. Like a scene like this, or this one, easily has... I don't know, like a million... No, not just a million, just millions of voxels. And you have to store the colors for every single one of them. And in between here, these are also voxels. They're just transparent, right? I don't know how this works, but probably. How I imagine it would work. Definitely how it works in Minecraft. Probably how it will work in my game. Yeah. Oh, I can just gaze at this for hours. I shouldn't do that. Let's move on. Let's see, where were we? Where were we? Oh yeah, we did some stuff using loading shaders. Okay, let's just do something like that. So I can say... Oh yeah, so let's change this annoying thing first. Keyboard engine.keyboard engine. Maybe I can just call this engine, right? Rename engine. Yeah. Change everything. And then in here it's just engine. I can maybe, you know what? Let's call it just C engine. Or keyboard engine. It's a little bit clearer. C engine.init. C engine.loads shader program from source. File, we'll do it from file. We'll add some files here. // something like vertex shader.glsl. Oh, got a sneeze. Oh, that's better. Okay, and then the next one should be very similar, but fragment shader.glsl. On the other hand, maybe we just want the engine to have its own shader. We probably do. Swear to God, I'm not sponsored. No, you're not. You're not. It's a cool thing though. I'm gonna gaze at it again. I can't help myself. But yeah, no, this stuff is just cool. Just, you know. Can't deny that. Can't deny that. Can't be mad at it. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we want a like default. Maybe we want a default shader baked into the engine. We'll think about it later. Maybe we want that though. Wait, I can't send messages with links to them. Yeah, YouTube do be like that. Because, you know, you could be sending people over to your awesome crypto pyramid scheme, and YouTube don't like that. Yeah. It does happen though. I mean, have you ever seen a video of one of those crypto guys? It's just filled with scammers, with just people that make similar profiles to the YouTuber and then just say, hey, I got this giveaway, click on this link, and then... Or click on my profile picture. Okay. Yeah, right. Thanks. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Okay, well, we have shaders. Textures, to be fair, to just display a simple voxel world, we just want colors, right? We don't need textures, we don't need models, we don't need other assets, and colors should be quite simple to implement, not something that we should load, so should be okay like that. And then the world, okay, that is a client-sided thing. Is it though? Wait, is it? Now I'm thinking, like, should I run the worlds on the engine side? That kind of makes sense, right? That's going to get mighty difficult. Yeah, when I don't know. I basically said I have an idea. Use something like Trello to make a game plan and then share the link to us viewers so we can have a sense of the direction or something like that. I don't know. It's a good task manager. Ah, yes. You are not sponsored indeed. What is Trello even? Do you think I've heard of it though? Probably. Trello. Helps teams move work forward. I swear I can spell. Do you share it on GitHub? Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to share everything on GitHub. Because, you know, then it's just out there for everyone. I do want people to be able to just follow it in here, but for people to just come and copy all of this. Of course, for now it's nothing, but I really like the idea of being able to actually publish something at Sunday. Being able to actually make a real game out of it. I don't even know how that works. Like, if you put everything on GitHub, right? Is it still copyright protected under in like some form, or just does it have to be open source at that point? I don't know, man. Like all that legal stuff, I just want to make games, you know. Just want to make a video game. Anyway, yeah, the Trello idea. I'm not sure about the Trello idea, but I do think it's a good idea to share, like, in a more clear way. Because now I'm just rambling, right? And people who come in like now have already missed 1.5 hours of me just rambling on about whatever I want to make. And it's gonna be very confusing to catch up. So yeah, just making a clear plan, like some sort of text. Just text is boring. Not gonna lie, that's boring. Maybe I should find something like I don't know, a paint file, where I just kind of illustrate as well what I want to make here. Maybe I should just make a text, or maybe I should make a video. Like an unlisted video that I just share in the Discord. Could be an okay idea, right? Yeah, I'll think about that. But yeah, I do want to share it more openly with everyone. I do think that that's a good idea. At least the idea of what I'm doing. Okay, let's see about this. So if we have a game, right, we can load some stuff. Then we probably do want something like a world generator. If we have a world in the engine, right? Okay, let's get paint here, because now I'm just gonna confuse more people. Okay, so we have like the engine here. Just do E for engine, and we have the C for client, or maybe a G for game, right? What do we want the engine to do? And what do we want the game to do itself? So the engine, of course, it has to do stuff with the window. Because I don't want the game to be directly exposed to OpenGL. I think that is a very, very basic thing for an engine to do. That's the very, very least that an engine has to do. But yeah, probably a lot more than that, right? But yeah, at least no direct OpenGL. Right. What does the game... Maybe that's a better idea. What does the game have to do? The game has to say what happens at user input. So what does user input do? What... I'll just call it UI. It's really bad, actually. Let's not do that. User input... do. Right. What it do? What the dog doing? Yeah, and it probably has to say something about assets, the assets that are used, right? Now, we are just going to be using voxels, so for now at least, not many assets will be used. Maybe something like shaders as well. The shaders, if you can load in your custom shader, right? That will definitely give your version, your implementation of the world a different feeling. Like, maybe you've seen the... I bring up Minecraft a lot, but Minecraft is just such an Bro, I snort. Minecraft is... What are you snorting? Anyway, Minecraft is just such a great example for almost everything. You know, all those shaders that you have in Minecraft, it gives you such a different feel of the game. So I do think shaders are an integral part. Air. Oh man. That's the most addictive drug. No one can live without at this point. Assets and shaders. What else do we want the game to do? Cold and near North Pole air. Oh man. Oh, I'm so looking forward to the winter. Talking about cold and near North Pole air. You're in like Norway or something? Or Canada? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Snow. Looking forward to it already. Anyway. We probably need to, if we have assets, we need to decide the location of these assets, right? So location slash like map design. I'm near Norway. Nice, dude. Not sharing anymore. Somewhere in Scandinavia, Europe, or Earth. That is where I live. Live on the northern hemisphere. You know where that is, right? Yeah, before someone goes on a hack your IP address or something. Very smart. Turns on VPN. Location and map design. That's probably something that we want, right? But that also ties into the world very, very closely. And programmers are hackers, yes. They definitely are, especially to 70-year-old Karens or to Hollywood movie makers. Definitely. You just do some excessively loud typing. Like that. And then we're in, boys. And then you're in. That's how you do it, apparently. Never knew, dude. Location and map design. Yeah, so this strongly ties into like the world, right? But the world probably has to be in here. And then the location map design should just be something that we can control the world with. So we can have something like world dot something like add. And then an object, something like that, right? So the world is then managed and created by the engine. And then the client just adds stuff to the world. Objects, entities. Probably going to need a vector class. Vector class? You mean the std vector from C# or C++, which is basically a list? Or the mathematical vector, which is XYZ? And so on and so forth. I mean both, right? Is the engine for rendering or also for physics? It is, yeah, definitely for both. Although having custom physics is of course pretty cool. The XYZ kind, yeah, we definitely will. I mean, OpenGL has that, right? Oh, this is the wrong one. I think it has it. OpenGL.computer or something? OpenGL? Oh, that's OpenGL. Hold on. Maths. Yeah, here it has vectors. We can use system.numerics, which might be a little bit faster. I think I tried it sometime. I think system.numerics is a little bit faster. But of course, the OpenGL vectors have integration with all of the other OpenGL stuff. So it certainly depends. For graphic stuff, we'll probably use OpenGL vectors, and for AI and world-related stuff, we will probably use numerics vectors, because they are just a little bit faster. Yeah, we'll definitely need those. What does a vector with 2 letters have? X and Y. Then a vector with 3 letters, X, Y, Z. But a vector with 4 letters, X, Y, Z and W? Yes, that is true. Then we go back into the alphabet. Can also go for the V and then the U, but realistically at some point it's just going to be vector with then just an index, right? Vector 0, vector 1, vector 2. Yeah, in my master's thesis, I'm currently working with vectors that are like 9,000 entries long. That's just kind of how it works, and it is still a mathematical vector. It's not a list. It's an actual vector. You know, it happens. Just a casual 9,000 dimensions. It makes less sense than my mom and dad the day I was born, minus 9 months. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these mathematicians, right? They were just X, yeah, that's fine. And they came up with vectors, and they were like, oh, X and Y for 2D, X, Y, Z for 3D, what else do you need? And then some completely cracked mathematics came up with, well, what about the 4th dimension? And then they realized that they didn't have a letter left, and then they had to like, go back, I guess. Poor planning, man. That's the problem here. Poor planning. Why didn't the Greeks come up with just going with ABCD? Anyway. Yeah, so doing some sort of physics would probably be a good idea here. Although, with physics here, I basically just mean collision, because you don't need custom collision physics, right? You probably don't want, because collision physics are just horrible. And you don't want to have to deal with that. So stuff like that should be in the engine. But then stuff like entity physics or particle physics, now it almost makes it sound like actual physics, particle physics, but I mean little particle things, you know. You probably want those, want to write those yourself. They probably thought you didn't need a 4th number before they invented quaternions. Wait, I just realized. Quaternions, my favorite. Still don't quite understand what they do. Never been my my strong suit. Let's see, so we probably want stuff like physics, but then stuff like particles, right? Particles. And what else do we need? Particles and physics like entity physics, right? how your player character reacts to whatever, apart from collision. Might be something that you want to do yourself. You're gonna have to suffer through properly implementing quaternions if you want to make this game engine. That is not going to be fun to watch. And also, OpenGL just has quaternions, so I will just use those. And Numerics probably has quaternions as well. Does OpenGL have quaternions? Now I'm starting to sweat. Mathematics. Quaternions, right? Yeah, yeah. You even have Bezier curve quadratics. Hell yeah, dude. No idea what they do. Yeah. Perfect. Alas, unfortunately for you, I'm not going to have to do that myself. And probably just implementing quaternions is not that difficult. It's just understanding how to use them properly and when to use them. Might be more of an issue, for me at least. Yeah, so this will also have to work with entities, right? You have to load in your own entities. Maybe we can have like a standard player character, but just like in Unity or something, everyone wants to just replace that, right? You want to get rid of the standard character, you want to make something yourself. I hate OpenGL, I'm going back to scratch. Yeah, yeah. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Wow, so much more space. Yeah, but entities, right? Game mechanics, like mechanics. So what I'm envisioning, right? Mechanics. My main vision for this game would be that we have all of these. I'm going to do a 2D representation because I just can't, right? It's like a horrible landscape, but who cares, dude? Who cares? My ultimate vision is that we have like all of these voxels, right? And we have. Oh wait, I can actually use this website. We can actually create something like this, like a scene like this, and we can render it. Not using a ray tracer or path tracer because that is going to be horribly slow. But using... This does look beautiful though, look at the reflections. But yeah, that is just horribly slow. We can in no way do that in real time. And these guys don't do that in real time. I can assure you of that. Yeah, that just takes so much to be able to do that. So much computing power. In any case, just a normal renderer, right? And in that case, we just have a world like this. And what I would like to do is create a game that is similar to maybe Roller Coaster Tycoon or to SimCity or maybe like Zoo Tycoon. That would be pretty cool as well. But yeah, some sort of tycoon game, some sort of simulator where you are just kind of the god figure and you have to build stuff in your world. The Minecraft approach here is also interesting, but I feel like if you are actually first person and you have to build things yourself. What about Capybara Simulator? Yes, capybaras are cool. They definitely are. Gods even. That's going a little far, but sure. Capybaras are epic. Tycoon games are fun. Yes, exactly. So, Capybara Tycoon, Simulator, you know, whatever. But I think that the Minecraft approach of being first person and close to the ground, I think that doesn't work too well with this. Just imagine that you are from the perspective of a character like this. I think it will just look a little bit odd, right? Especially if you have to build yourself and you have to build like color for color. I think that is a little bit odd and a little bit slow and not that entertaining. But if you are in God mode, then you can just load in full already pre-made assets. You can of course, or you should be able to make your own assets, but you can load in pre-made assets. The game itself will come with pre-made assets, of course. And then you can place them, and that will just be a bundle of like 100 by 100 by 100 voxels. You can just place that in one go, which will be fast, it will be nice. Hey, no number man. Sing. No. You can make me do many things, but singing is not one of them. If you want to hear me sing, then I don't know. I don't know what you have to do. Probably nothing, because I probably won't do it. What was I saying? And I'm losing my train of thought so often here. Something about Maria. No, stop it. Stop ganging up on me. Insert Palpatine. Do it. Not going to. Not going to. Oh yeah, I was talking about how... No! No! I was talking about how you know, something about gameplay would be just more interesting, more fluent, more engaging if you can place a lot of these things at once. Like instead of placing one of these voxels one at a time, you place the entire pillar. Just bam, done. And then from that you can construct your cathedral or whatever. We're going to sing on live stream about coding a voxel engine. You can sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Actually, singing about how I'm coding a voxel engine will be a lot easier than Mary Had a Little Lamb, because I honestly don't know the lyrics to Mary Had a Little Lamb. Can't I do something like Old MacDonald's had a farm? E-I-E-I-O. Well, that was a great song. That was a great song. Right, let's move on. Hey, it's paint. Oh yeah, wait, we were still doing something with paint. So this will have to do something to do with like an asset builder, right? Asset builder. And of course, eventually, if we can do something like this on Steam, if we can actually publish something like this on Steam, having Steam Workshop integration and being able to share your assets would be just phenomenal. An absolute dream. Absolute dream. Anything else? Because I do want the game to decide, okay, I want this game to be you know, a SimCity kind of thing. I want this game to be a RCT kind of thing. So I also need, yeah, game mechanics, right? That's what that does. Seems like menus. But then again, I need a UI system from the engine. Just a UI system. So I do want this to be pre-built, and then, you know, a game can just take what is there and say, okay, I want a menu to appear there with this texture, with these buttons. Go. And then it does it. Say Cape Horn. Let's see what you did there. I'm not gonna do that. It'll get me demonetized as well. Can see through your tricks. Your little tricks. Okay. UI system, menus. Anything else here? I think I should actually save this, because this is going to be mighty helpful later on. Anything else that we need to handle? In a UI system, of course, we'll also have like font stuff. fonts. That was a beautiful T. Font stuff. You want to have that in there, right? Yeah, what do you guys think? Anything else that we should do in our game? Anything about game design that I missed? I probably did. Right, I probably did. Oh, of course. Rendering. It's a pretty big one. But yes, constructing VAOs, you know, stuff like that. Definitely in engine stuff. Also closely ties together with World, of course, and with Window. But yeah, so in the world there will be these voxels. These voxels need to be able to be turned into something visible on screen, and that should then be rendered. Definitely an engine type of thing. I also think that the camera should be handled on the engine, because we just discussed why a like third-person top-down godlike view is probably the best for an engine like this. And I am fine with just asserting that. We're just saying, okay, this will just be the way that it is, and you as a game just don't have any control over that. I think that is fine. Of course, you do have control over how high up you are. All of that good stuff. What about playing sounds? Sound, yeah, sound engine. Yeah, absolutely. So this should be able to play sounds. Play sounds. And then I'm going to say that sounds are basically assets, right? So, assets here. Assessed? Hold up. Hold up. Almost got that right. He assessed. That's not even how you write it. But... okay. Yeah, loading sounds, playing sounds. This is pretty important. Playing sounds, I did that once before. Yeah, long time ago. We should also do shadows in here. Stuff like that, right? Shadow maps. Make things somewhat pretty. Maybe you will be able to just disable shadows. Right? From the game, from the engine. You can just say, well, just do engine or cengine dot disable shadow maps or enable shadow maps. You know, stuff like that. But that is, you know, totally doable. But I do want the shadow map code itself to just be in the engine. I think the asset builders are going to be the biggest challenge, and probably something that we will do last. Yeah. That's probably something that we will do last. I'll actually encircle that in red. Idea, also create a render buffer class so that users of the engine/library can post-process effects pretty easily. Yeah. That is not a bad idea. Of course, we can add some basic post-processing effects ourselves. So we can... yeah, but then again, of course, what you then mean, of course, render buffer, is that you will actually get a sort of texture, right? Because there are multiple forms of render buffering. And you can make render buffers where the buffer itself is just immutable. You just write to it, and then it's there. You cannot change it. You can only show it on screen, but you cannot change it anymore. So you definitely want to render it to a texture, and then change these pixels by the game, right? So we want post-processing in here. But maybe we can make some defaults that we can just put in the engine. And this is very closely related to the shaders, of course. Where are shaders? I think that is very closely related. And this should have something like render buffers. Just so that we don't forget. That is definitely something that we want to do. That is very true. Maybe we do want a ray tracer. Of course, the rasterizer is a must. We will have a rasterizer. But maybe we can also add a ray tracer. Ray tracer. Like that. And this also will be something that we will do last. Probably after the asset builder even. Not even sure if it's possible. Especially if you have millions of voxels on screen, you can imagine that ray tracing a scene like that is just nuts. I mean, clearly it is possible. I mean, these guys here do it. But, you know, like especially this, millions of voxels. That's not easy. That is not easy at all. Just getting that data on the graphics card is insanely difficult. What you can do is maybe you can do something like with Z buffering here, that you get a good depth map here, and then you just render the back here first, and then you render towards the front, so you do it in little chunks. And then you can get that data on the graphics card, but obviously that will take you like a couple seconds to do. And a couple seconds for one frame is obviously too long. Maybe it won't even take a couple seconds, maybe just 1 second, but that is still too long. So I'm not sure how viable ray tracing a scene like that will be. But it's definitely a cool challenge, and I want to look into that. I do think that this should be about it, right? Let's get rid of this nonsense. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to save this. So I'll be sure that I still have that next time. Then for now... Yeah, it's almost 10, guys. I think it is time for me to go to bed soon. But of course, I will be back tomorrow. I'll think about what I'm going to do tomorrow. But it will probably be something along the lines of creating a world class in the engine and trying to get some terrain to actually render. So working on the world and working on a renderer. A very basic, very basic renderer. So something that we will most certainly have to change in the future, otherwise it will be way too slow. But that's okay, I just want to get a couple cubes on screen. That would be awesome if we can get that done tomorrow. Yeah, I might do some preparations between this stream and the next stream. I might just copy over the shaders, for example, from this other project that we had. Just copy them over. Nothing special, right? But then that basic stuff is already done. That's just kind of nice to have done. And also just think about what I want to do with the world. Because I do notice that when I'm talking like this, right, with y'all, it is a little bit difficult to deeply think about what we want to do, or what I want to do for this game, while also talking at the same time. There is one thing that I cannot do, it is to do two things at once. That really is the worst. It's horrible. I'm horrible at it. Ask Maria. Maria knows. Anyways. Yeah, this is going to be it then. Tomorrow, same time. Yeah, I can make that. Oh, by the way, I'm also working on a Minecraft modding video. Right? How to set up fabric and all of that stuff. Again, it is not completely confirmed yet that we are going to do the contest. So hold your horses on that. But yeah, tomorrow or Saturday, probably Saturday to be fair, that video is going to come out. That honestly, I'm pretty happy with that video for right now. I'm editing it right now. I'm like a third of the way there. Tomorrow I'll do the other 2/3. It is a way faster to make this video, and I think it's rather nice. I kind of like this video. It's a little bit minimalistic compared to my other videos. Like it doesn't have as much editing in it, but it's perfectly fine. It suits it well. And yeah, I just like it. You'll see it for yourself. In any case, I also ask in that video for anyone who sees it if they want to actually participate in the contest, if there is going to be a contest. And according to that, I will decide whether I want to actually do the contest or not. If there are not enough people in that video that actually want to participate in a contest, I don't think I will do the Minecraft modding contest. But what I will do is probably think about doing a game developing contest, just a general game development contest, where we'll have 1 month worth of time, and anyone in a Discord server or whatever can create a little game. And based on that, we can judge it, and whoever wins gets eternal glory. Something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, and maybe we can, you know, if you really have the best game according to us, then I guess that would be a great encouragement to just actually publish it on Steam or something. But yeah, we'll try the Minecraft thing first. The game contest we'll definitely do at some point. Even if Minecraft, even if we do the Minecraft contest, we will do the game development contest at some point. I'm pretty sure. The engine should probably also take care of the delta time and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's true. That's the windowing. I include that with the windowing, because I already have that, right? If I go to my engine, I already have DT here, and then in the engine here itself, if I go to rendertick, do game.rendertick and then arcs.time. Done. Maybe even have a fixed update. A fixed update? I don't know what you mean with a fixed update. You mean like have like a separate thread for updates? Probably will do that, to be fair, because that will we will need all the computing power that we can get. So using some multi-threading is definitely a good idea. Okay. I feel like maybe the chat box should be just up a little bit more. Yeah. No, but that's really going to be it though. I did all my announcements now. Yeah, you'll just see that video come up in like 2 days. It's gonna be a good time. Oh, I see a message. It's so weird. So I see your messages, your chat messages, on my OBS screen before I actually see them in my OBS chat. It's infuriating, but... And update function that runs exactly 50 or 60 times per second instead of the usual. As many frames as possible, or go... as many frames as possible, or go home attitude that an update function would have. I'm pretty sure OpenTK also handles that, no? Like it has the render frequency and update frequency, which I set to 60. Pretty sure that's just handled here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's handled. If it doesn't work properly, we'll figure something out. But I'm pretty sure that this will just work. Okay. Well, in any case, really do want to go to bed now. I'm so tired, guys. Another long day tomorrow, working on a thesis, so and editing the video, by the way. Very important stuff. So I bid you all a very good evening, I guess. Of course, maybe it's not evening wherever you are, but probably is, right? Unless you're in America, then it's good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, well. Good evening, Deepunked. Good evening, Legendized. Good evening, Jasmine. I'm in Germany, yes. And Legendized is somewhere on the northern hemisphere. In a classified location. Alright. Bye-bye. In Europe, somewhere near Norway. Still in a classified location.